Ja, will honest to the elders and apostles of good men, stone shalom also to the one third Israelites, which include Jews, children, so good Negroes, Latinos, and Indians, who are still oppressed together according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33, but to whom the late paternity adoption, giving of the Lord the promises, declaring the covenants, according to the book of Romans chapter 9. Okay, also the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indians who are Negroes, Latinos, and Indians by blood, not just by color. Okay. If you don't know. And we will, because I was talking about it in some of my last videos that there are really, the number of percentage of earthquakes was growing, okay, in a really, really high number, okay, and the proof of that, okay, I look for it here, okay. Earthquake, earthquake weight going up, okay. Earthquake rate going up. We will find something about that. Okay, just for side information, okay, there have been 1.5 million earthquakes or greater. Okay, this is today's or earthquaketrack.com. 136 earthquakes in the past 24 hours only. 895 earthquakes in the past 7 days. 4,060 earthquakes in the past 30 days. 49,492 earthquakes in the past 365 days. The biggest earthquakes. Okay, and today, this week, this month, this year. Okay, but 7.6 in Colmen da Vatsquez Parlares, okay, in Mexico. It's really much, man. Okay, it's a lucky for my voice, Is the number of large earthquakes increasing? Earthsky.org. I bet so. Wait. Yeah, we can read it. Large earthquakes greater than 8.0 in magnitude have struck the Earth at a record high rate since 2004, but scientists have analyzed the historical record and found that the increase in seismic activity was likely due to mere chance. Peter Shearer at Scripps Institution of Oceanography and Philip Stark at the University of California examined the global frequency of large magnitude earthquakes from 1900 to 2011. They discovered that while the frequency of magnitude 8.0 and higher earthquakes has been cyclically elevated since 2004 at a rate about 1.2 to 1.4 earthquakes per year, the increased rate was not statistically different from what one might expect to see from random chance. The results of the study were published on January 17, 2012 in Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, but now devastating earthquakes greater than 8.0 in magnitude are infrequent and occur at a rate of about 1 earthquake per year. However, the occurrence of several of these large earthquakes over the past decade, including 2 earthquakes in 2004, 2 earthquakes in 2006 and 4 quakes in 2007, has caused people to question if the frequency of high magnitude earthquakes has increased in the early part of the century. Shearer is a professor of geophysics at Scripps Institution of Oceanography and Stark is a professor and vice chair of statistics at the University of California, and looking through the historical record, the scientists noticed that a disproportionately high number of large earthquakes greater than 8.0 8.0 in magnitude also occurred between 1950 and 1965. Then there was a bit of a slump in seismic activity from 1996 to 2003. To determine the typical background seismic activity of the Earth over the past century, the scientists had to exclude earthquakes that could be classified as aftershocks from their analysis. They did so by eliminating from their dataset those earthquakes that occurred within 2 years and 1,000 kilometers of the epicenter of the magnitude 8.0 and higher earthquakes under examination. When the scientists compared the resulting dataset to 3 different mathematical models, they found no evidence that elevations in seismic activity since 2004 were statistically significant. Furthermore, most scientists could find no plausible physical mechanism that could explain the possible occurrence of global seismic swarms. Hence, large earthquakes are infrequent and difficult to analyze. The scientists concluded that the global frequency of large earthquakes is no higher today than it has been in the past. Meanwhile, an article on Quist yesterday suggests that climate change will cause earthquakes to increase. It's an interesting read and looks at earthquake frequency in much larger frame, prehistoric to future activity, than covered in Shearer's and Stark's study 1900 to 2011. The Quist article mentions how the retreat of the ice sheets might destabilize land masses and increase seismic activity. Unfortunately, there are no links to peer-reviewed literature, so I can't get a quick handle on how solid the science is. If possible, we will develop on it at some point in the future. Okay, this article is from 2012. Okay, so guess what? We are on to 2022. Okay, so this is already 10 years ago. Okay, earthquakes, more earthquakes. So you hear that there was a time when large earthquakes was going up. The next going up, I believe, came after 2012. More earthquakes since, see, in 2020, for example. Rising number of earthquakes. Okay. Experts. Rising number of earthquakes. The year with the largest total was 2010, with 23 major earthquakes greater than or equal to magnitude 7.0. In other years, the total was well below the annual long-term average of 16 major earthquakes. 1989 only had 6 major earthquakes. In 1988 only had 7. Okay. Rising number of earthquakes in Texas linked to oil and gas production. Number of earthquakes worldwide. 2020, 2000 to 2021. Yeah, okay. So basically you have an uprising of earthquakes. Okay. There will be major earthquakes. Okay. I don't know where this article was about. Luke 21 and 11 and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful signs and great signs shall there be from heaven. You see, for nation shall rise against nation, Mark 13 and 8. Okay, we see this coming due every day. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be earthquakes in diverse places. Okay, which was the case, both. You have China, you have USA, you have Russia, fighting against each other basically. And there shall be famines, troubles. These are the beginnings of Cyrus, you see. So the beginnings of Cyrus is that you see an increase of number of earthquakes already. Okay, if you go back longer time. But if it's only the beginning of Cyrus, so you would expect that there will come earthquakes that are way stronger, okay? And you will see them, with your own eyes. In the flat, praises to Yahweh, just the same as this nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom thing will be escalating also. Same way these earthquakes will escalate, okay? Just because there was no major earthquake since 2010 doesn't mean that the next earthquake will be even worse, Like I said, it's the beginnings, okay, of Cyrus. So we will see some special things eventually.